We're doing things differently in 2024. Wait. What's the set list?
There's a sound glitch.
Sound glitches.
Oh, that's so much better. Give me a real quick test.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hi, my name is Oladipo Olufemi Oyedeji Akani Abdul-Jalil Oyediran. But you've probably known me as Ladi up until this point, and I am embarking on a new journey in the year 2024. Now, we're living in an age of what it means to be different as an independent artist, and how that looks and what that looks like is in a rapidly changing landscape, I feel. So I'm gonna figure out this balance between being a musician and being a content creator, which in this day and age is becoming synonymously like the same, to market yourself at least. Because things about me, number one, I fucking hate marketing. But this is the realm that we live in, and this is the way to do it until I figure out how to unravel enough of it to understand it for myself, to hopefully rewrite the entire fabric of the whole thing. I don't know what that means as far as me destroying what marketing is as you know it, but we're gonna figure that out. I'm going to be documenting myself kind of through that journey, at the same time providing you content, either in the form of music. So if you're out there searching for me, poetry, me playing some instrument, me rapping something, me interviewing somebody, or just kind of figuring out sound and sound creation and working in a studio setting, because I've kind of grown to like that. Some of y'all may know a few things about me already, but let me just kind of say it from the tippity top. First and foremost, I am an artist. At the core, barring everything else, in my chest, in my soul, I'm an artist. Now, how do I know that? As a kid, the first few things that I always wanted for my birthday gifts or my Christmas gifts or any kind of gifts that people gave me were art supplies. I was always pacified whenever I wanted to sit down and draw something from a comic book, because my mind bounced all over the place all the time. I was a very rambunctious kid, you can ask my mom. But I found this way to center myself and be building a skill and feel enlightened, elated, and fulfilled in doing art. And it started off with me just drawing Goku from the TV screenshot, or drawing Deathspawn from some comic book, or Spider-Man from a Marvel comic, or Superman from a DC one. So at the core, I'm an artist first. That really kind of was always there in my entire journey as a person, but that's just like phase one. Phase two, Lottie goes to college at TCC, goes to college at UTA, graduates with a bachelor's in mathematics, a minor in physics, biological math research, a teaching certification to teach math and science 7 through 12, and becomes a teacher at Dallas ISD in David W. Carter High School at that time. Yes, that David W. Carter High School. Oh, these are the ones that have the salty finish. These are the ones that have the salty finish. Oh my God. Went abroad to Kathmandu, Nepal, and decided that I wanted to be an international traveling teacher, and then life took on a whole other kind of top spin for me, shifting me back in the direction of really chasing music as a career. Now, before I became a teacher, I was a drummer in church. That was another realm to my artistry. I definitely always thought that praise and worship was the coolest thing about church. Shout out to my mom, because she took us to church every Sunday, and sometimes on Wednesdays and sometimes on Fridays. But because of that, I took attention to the drums and knew that I wanted to learn that skill of an instrument. Then the whole family moved over to America in 2005, in which case I got to see John Mayer and the trio, not live, but I bought the DVD and experienced that whole thing as it was being released in the time that it was. And that really inspired me to learn guitar. So shout out Chad Carpenter, first guy that really kind of encouraged me to be able to buy my own guitar and learn to play myself. Shout out Lauren Wright now, that's her last name now, Lauren Wright, because she sold me my first Ibanez. Shout out to Johnston Chan, Krisha Funa, Marcus Alexander, because they were the first band Tuesday nights to put together this energy that made me want to come back and practice being an active creating musician. All this is happening while Lottie is attending TCC and UTA. Now, after I graduated UTA, teaching David W. Carter High School for 2 years. By the time I was leaving for Kathmandu, Nepal, I was about to release an album, or not an album, but a small EP called Nexus, inspired by Kayla at the time. And I did release that right before my life went topsy-turvy. So I started performing and recording some of the sounds that I'd already kind of released in music when I went through my hardships in Kathmandu, Nepal, which is a whole other tale that we can do a whole other documentary for. But in that span of time, me and Kayla grew, and that's where Iggy Meji bloomed. And Iggy Meji rose from about 2017-18 up until now, and is still progressing. After that whole experience in Kathmandu, I came back, connected with Marcus again, Marcus Alexander, and that started Famous Exchange. Now that project has already risen and died. But since then, I met Carlos, aka Session. We formed 808 Saints together and formed that group. And I met Uzo, Justin King, Preach the Poet, and that formed Group Nameless when I was trying to record SYLA Album Volume 1. That project has also risen and died, but we progress. So that's kind of my musical journey. And amidst all of this, I've learned guitar, I've learned drums, I've learned a little bit of bass, I've taken music theory for a couple years, I've learned keys a little bit, and at the top of this year, I started learning saxophone because at the core, I'm an artist. But I'm also a math teacher, and I also do that as a way to support me as an artist to live comfortably and financially responsible, because while I want to be a content creator and have this be all that I do, in the meantime, there are bills that need to get paid. So that's just the world that we live in. So I constantly have to straddle this difference between chasing my dream, yet being a responsible individual financially, so that I can support those around me, like Payton, who's helping record this content, and pay into that system and see just a little economy grow of being a musician. But I can't do that in this day and age solely as a musician the way that I've moved myself currently. No! So, this marketing thing and figuring that out is the next level to figure this out. So, you'll be seeing a lot of content from me coming around in 2024. It's gonna look weird, it's gonna look different, I'm gonna be all over the place, but hopefully at some point you get to see a system that I'm working in and figuring out. And YouTube more, hopefully long form stuff, collaborations, live versions, and visuals of songs that I've previously released that have never really found a way to create a video about them, because that's another expensive endeavor, right? But we're gonna figure out some way to streamline this and make this economical. So stick with me on this journey. We'll see how that goes. And as always, support your local artists. Beautiful guys. Cut and print. I'm like water. Back and forth, back and forth. Where's the closest Waffle House?